Howdy tankers, I have reviewed the IS-6 before, but it is my overall most played tank, and I thought I'd show some games in which the brawling characteristics of the IS-6 become apparent. This is a great brawling tank. In this game I am platooning with Canal, he's in his KV. The rest of the team went down, so we went with them. The enemy team is up on these hills. And I am working my way around the flank. You'll notice that the IS-3 is not a sniper. You can fire at long range if you aim all the way in on an unmoving target, but if they're moving, you're just not going to take snapshots. It's very hard to hit at a distance under those circumstances. And here I am trying to disrupt these three tanks. I want to make them be thinking about me not being able to focus fire on enemy tanks, be bothered by the fact that there's a tank down here that can shoot at them, take pot shots, and that they don't have the gun depression to mess with. So I'm exposing myself just enough to be able to do that. This IS-8 doesn't have the gun depression to do that. I get one into his lower plate and slowly aim in. He's foolish enough to just sit there and let me use lower plate again. Conqueror's up there. He does have some gun depression, so I need to worry more about him. He's also a tier 9 tank, so definitely formidable up there. And I'm just kind of playing these angles, trying to make it hard for them to hit me, trying to make it hard for them to aim in on any weak spots, anything along those lines. And I'm playing for time. I want the friendly Conqueror to come up and help out up here. And eventually he does that. He's not playing super well, but he is able to just drive up here and be another target and be something else to be shooting. And he's got a really good gun, so he's going to do some damage. I get far enough up here to get one into the Conqueror. I don't have good gun depression, but while the other tanks are distracted, this IS-8 is doing a pretty good job. See how he's wiggling to try to make it hard for me to get to his lower plate, but still managed to get in there. Conqueror gets a bounce off my armor. This is very tricky armor, especially if you don't let them aim in on weak spots. And he's a one-shot, so I just need the one shot in there, and it's a win. Alright, now I'm platooning with Abrams on Himmelsdorf. Just donked a shot and took a shot that took up my driver. And I need to make a decision here. We have some significant pressure on the flank, and I know Abrams is going to be able to handle the other flank, so I'm going to move up here. And I am working on side scraping, engaging one enemy tank at a time. This is before the 2.7 update, so this is before you are able to shoot through targets. So I'm being careful about that because shooting at that truck would just destroy the truck without going through and hitting the target. That would waste a shot. Anyway, that tank's dead, and we have a Jagdtiger here engaged, and T-25AT is calling for help, and I move in right behind the Jagdtiger and take as many free shots as I possibly can. T-25AT is taken out, but the Jagdtiger is a one-shot. I kind of foolishly let him turn. It doesn't hurt me this time, but I should have blocked him in and not let him turn. Now we have some stuff on this side, and I really can't afford to dance with this guy. He is more mobile than me. If we just play peekaboo games here, he's going to have the advantage, and more importantly, my platoon mate over on the right side needs some help. So I'm going to switch back to this other side and advance. Abrams has been doing a really good job on this side, keeping the enemy occupied. And here this guy. I turn off auto aim in sniper mode. He's trying to bounce back and forth, and if I were in auto aim mode, that would have made it impossible for me to aim in. But in this case, I took him out. And we've got a prototype up here. Very difficult to take from the front and very formidable gun. But my track eats a shot, luckily. I come up and around, and the prototype, because I know the prototype cannot turn very quickly, not a very mobile tank. I put a shot into this Type 59, and then for the prototype, I get a rear shot. Rear shots on most American tanks with 122mm gun, you want to hit with HE. So that's what I do here, take him out. And now it's just me and this guy. He hits me in the track. I just wait that out, fix the track. He gives me a side shot. I put it in. He bounces off me. I'm reloading, but I can charge forward, and he moves forward, and boom. Ram kills are fun. You'll notice how many shots were eaten by tracks in that game. This is a tank in which, if you are brawling, you want to be in constant motion. Anytime you are not aiming in, if there are tanks around you, you want to keep moving. At any given time, there is a flat-ish surface that the enemy could aim in and an angled surface that they could be aiming in on, and you want to make it very hard to aim in on that flat-ish surface. If you keep moving, you make it hard to aim in on weak points, you make it more likely that your tracks are going to take shots, and you make it, the enemy is just seeing red dancing around and not able to get in on you. You'll notice that the cap timer is going, and one basic principle I have learned in Blitz, always assume that you're the one who has to reset cap. No matter what your teammates are doing, even if they're calling the, hitting the reset cap button, even if they're a lot closer, assume that you're the one who has to deal with someone who's in a capture circle. So I've reset the capture timer, and I move in. I might as well just kill this guy. I do that. I move up. And this enemy tank is backing off, is going to make it difficult to deal with. And there are plenty of enemy tanks back in the desert that K-Dub is dancing with. I have had to move away from him. We can't, so we were trying to focus fire for a while, and weren't able to do that, so I'm going to go back and try to support him. I don't get there in time to keep him alive, unfortunately. Sorry, man. But I think it was the right tactical decision regardless. I hit this T-44. Nice side armor shot. And he's trying to circle me. I'm keeping him from getting easy circle shots. Take him out. Here's another one, and he rams me. He takes a whole lot more damage than I do from that. That was foolish. You don't want to ram heavies in mediums as a general rule. Anyway, he's very low health. I donk a shot, and he's dead. Again, bouncing around, constantly moving, get a shot in, get lots of snapshots at close range with this tank, and that's where it feels really comfortable. Now, that was just a quick engagement. Now there's a Hellcat, and I'd like to take him out, put one into him, and he's dead. Now, there's another one in which I am platooning with Bruder. He's in his IS-6. We are on Canal, dancing around. This is another kind of melee brawl situation. Take a shot at this VK. Without APCR, there's no way I was going to get through the front of that tank at that range. Closer range, I might have been able to aim in on his lower plate. Here, I get a nice aimed-in shot on the top turret of the IS-3. So that was nice. Now, me and this Panther M10 are kind of in each other's way. I decide to move over here and try to get some focus fire in support of my teammate, who is also dancing around playing similar games with his IS-6. So in these melees, you do not want to charge forward willy-nilly. You want to be very careful and tactical about when you go forward, when you go back. Here's a situation in which I was going forward, and I noticed this Pershing was right over here. I pull back to kill him. Save the M10. This IS-3 is being rather careful on this side. And I have no shots. I don't want to charge forward. However, I decide that he's pretty low health, so it is worth advancing, taking him out. And we're going to win the rest of this this battle handily, take out the VK, and the rest of the battle's not very interesting, so I'm not going to show it. Here is one platooning with Abrams on Black Goldville. We've advanced up to the caves area. And IS-6 can struggle with gun depression in these situations. Advance up to here. It's a T-28 prototype. Switch to APCR. Hit him in the side. Here is a Tiger II coming up. Difficult target. I try to aim in on his lower plate. Managed to get that. You always want to calculate how much time you have to aim in at any kind of range. This is a very inaccurate gun. If you aim in all the way, you can get some good shots in, but if you don't take your time, got a nice one on the side armor here. Tiger II is dead. Step around here. No shots. The Yak Tiger didn't penetrate even with a PCR. This gun does struggle with penetration. Pull back, aim in all the way. So once again, this is a very inaccurate gun. Basic principle, at any kind of range, carefully aimed in shots can be very effective. But you really gotta take your time and aim in. Here's one on Copperfield with Lokeen. We've been kind of playing this area here, not super effectively. They haven't been giving me much in the way of good targets, and I haven't been playing super well. I've managed to at least conserve my hit points. I turn my turret to try to hit this guy, and I find that I do not have the gun elevation to make that happen. Pull back further, and thought I had got it, but somebody landed that shot and killed him just before I did, so. But he's dead. Now we have a strong push up from this side, and we've got a prototype coming up. Prototype has good gun depression, I do not. Bounce a shot. Notice I did not aim in all the way on the lower plate of that Tiger. Now we have KB4. I get a hit on his tracks. He's charging down on me. I do not want to take a full force ram from that behemoth. He weighs too much for me to be able to take that. I get a shot into his lower plate. Take a shot from the other side. Again, try not to get rammed by him. He takes a good shot. Put another shot into his lower plate. He's a one shot. I move off to the side to try to use him as cover, but I don't manage to do that, and I take a big hit into my rear from an enemy tank. Now I have a T-32 up here. Hit his lower plate. He's got the gun depression to do well in this fight, and the problem here bounces off of me is that I'm worried about my armor here, because if he's firing down on me, he may be at a flatter angle than usual, so he might be able to penetrate pretty well. So notice I'm wiggling back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to try to make it hard for him to get a nice aimed-in shot. Lokeen is calling for help, and I just can't. If I pull to the side, that T-32 is going to be able to get a nice flat shot on me. I'm sorry, and Lokeen gets killed. No shot at the turret of this T-32. Just don't have anything like the penetration, regardless of APCR. Got that Tiger coming in behind me, and boom! At this range, I can snapshot. Now the T-32 comes up, and he's dead. Here's another one with Lokeen. We're on Castilla. We've been playing a fairly conservative game up here, so is the enemy. We are down 2 tanks. I am trying to get aimed-in shots without exposing myself. I've managed to conserve my hit points, but haven't been able to do a whole lot of damage at this point. Do get an aimed-in shot at that TD. And need to turn over here. That medium pulls back, but we've got a great shot at this Pershing at his side. Take advantage of that. And Lokeen is using his gun depression to try to get shots over there. He's playing in his T-34. We are flanked on both sides. Definitely a concerning situation, and Lokeen is now very low health. So I want to be on the side that is most challenging to try to help him stay alive. And so that's what I'm doing over here. Trying to get in on this Tiger, but he's playing very carefully. Good for him. Got that Pershing coming up. I hit him, track him. Nothing there. Probably should have spent more time on the Pershing, but Lokeen's a very competent player and takes him out. Got stuff coming up on the left side. Again, I want to be on the side with the most difficult opponents because Lokeen is vulnerable. I get a little bit of a lag spike here, and I move further forward than I had intended, way out into the open, but fortunately that shot from the IS-3 gets eaten by my tracks. This annoying Tiger 1 I finally get a shot into. And I'm hit from behind. Unfortunately, Lokeen's been taken out, but I kill the 44 that got him. This Tiger has done a great job of making it difficult to fight with him. Now I have a friendly who is dueling with this VK. I want to help that out, so I back up. Friendly's dead. It's just me against 2 enemy tanks, but they're both lower tier than me. But they're both pretty healthy. I manage a bounce here. The Tiger 1 goes into my frontal armor. I decide to go after them one at a time, and I've got higher ground on the Tiger, which means I can advance much faster toward him. Notice the shots I'm bouncing, even off my rear armor. Hit the Tiger, keep moving, keep wiggling, keep trying to make it hard for them to get good angles on me. Take out the Tiger. He's hit his adrenaline, but his gun is not super high penetration, and I'm not giving him the time and space to look for good penetrating shots. Turn. He bounces a few, and I take him out. So for those of you struggling with IS-6 in sort of clutch situations, I hope you might find this helpful. Please give this video a like. Please subscribe to my channel.